We're in Sioux Falls right now. We're pulling into the park. We're going to have a look what this is all about. Pretty crowded area for driving and everything, but it looks not too bad. It looks kind of interesting. Great little place to visit called Sioux Falls. There's quite a nice waterfall here with lots of rock formations. Met a few people too to talk to you about what we were up to. Watch the water going over the falls. Been to a lot of places like this. There's some things like this in Whitehorse where I was at. We had to put fish ladders for the fish to get up. It wasn't anything like that here. This is a freshwater river with waterfalls. Pretty enjoyable place to spend an hour or two. Some people were spending like a day there. We walked around, had a tour. Then we were back on the road again. I saw this wonderful tractor, and it's a Twin Cities, just like from where I'm from. The rain stopped. There were huge winds. I think that's what was changing the weather, blowing the rain away. We drove along and saw some interesting old buildings. That's the kind of thing I thought we'd find driving across. We drove across North and South Dakota. Now we're on our way to Manitoba. These old buildings are amazing, the stories they could tell. Imagine there, look, there's an old Bonnie and Clyde mobile right in the front yard. I was just taken with that. It's all full of bullet holes too. Look at that. I've seen that in a few places, like up around Alaska. A bunch of these old buildings and barns. Really picturesque along the way. And the green grass and fields, it's a lot of grazing grounds here. The old buildings, imagine people had like homesteads out here and raised their livestock. The clouds were moving. Look at that, how fast they're moving. Well, we speeded this up a little bit of a time lapse, but I had to stop here just to watch the clouds. It was amazing seeing the clouds moving along and the weather changing. Just fantastic. Back on the road once again. We just keep driving, it seems like. Here you see it's pretty nice and clear out and sunny. Beautiful kind of a day. We'll just see what we can find. Look at that. Just a little fence and some trees in the sky, but I find it incredibly beautiful. We stopped at this park. There was kayakers with a farm in the background and some birds. This was a great place to make lunch and spend a few hours working on our videos. There was a bull farm here with lots of bulls, and there was a family, a father with some young fellas, and they were spearfishing with bows and reels in the river there, catching these big carp. Another farm here. This is Central America, I guess, and these are the farms. Lots of farms everywhere. Look at the history there in the back. You can just imagine how they started out with a small building and then a bigger one and another one after that yet. This river was kind of interesting to me with the trees all bent over. So much rain, everything was damp and wet. There was a lot of rain. You can see in the fields how much rain there was. There's rain in the sky too there ready to come down. We saw this old road and we were headed looking for a church. The road said it was closed, but I thought, well, just maybe we might get through, and you never know, but yeah, it was closed. No way I was going to chance that. You can't get towed away by CAA if you're off the road. Now we're just blasting along down this. It's almost like a causeway with these trees on each side of it and water on each side. It's pretty amazing. I'm out looking for photographs. That's what I'm always about, trying to find interesting things. Here I thought the long lens would pull the telephone poles closer together. Now a bit of a wide-angle shot with some water. There were lots of birds here too. I couldn't get close to the birds. They're very scared. As soon as I got out of the van, all the birds took off and ran away. We're definitely driving through farm country now. This is Central USA, lots of fun. Small towns. So we kept on driving down the road. We're on the Lewis and Clark Trail. When I saw that, I think about history. I think about these guys traveling across here. This is an old schoolhouse. It's been renovated or restored, and there's a little tiny park here, Mound City, and we were welcome to have our lunch there. There was a bathroom there to get cleaned up before we hit the road again. It's always nice to have running water once in a while. There's the old Larson School. This was the downtown. It's pretty amazing. A few crazy things here. Look at this safe house, bar and grill. And wow. Remember the old Corvairs? Yeah. Wow. It's downtown, parked up with the van. Just loving it. We're in farm country, all right. You know, it's me at the wheel doing 55 when hay wagons are passing you. I like to get good mileage. Here's another one of the grain elevators. Grain elevators have a lot of meaning to me because my grandfather came here from Austria after the First War, and he built the elevators out west. He was a carpenter working on that project. Big round hay bales now in the hay baling machinery there in the distance. It's amazing, all the farms here. It's a lot of work baling hay. The square bales are a lot of work. I've worked doing that several times, and that's hard work. The round bales is all pretty well mechanical the way it's done now. Another ruin of an old building with the trees in the distance. I just love these old buildings. They're not going to be around forever. They're going to just fall down and they'll be gone. Driving through another small town here. There's the water tower. More grain elevators. They're still using this style of grain elevators. They're made of metal. Then we saw some beautiful apple blossoms here. We parked up here. We spent the best part of the day here photographing the blossoms, working on our videos and on our photographs. Just having a bit of a rest stop too. Love these blossoms. Tried to photograph them in several different ways. It's using a close-up lens and sometimes just a telephoto lens. Stopped in this pawn shop in Wall. Look at that rifle, wow. Beautiful farms off in the distance in the sky. One thing about the prairies that I notice is the beautiful big skies. Call it big sky country in Texas and Alberta. Beautiful big skies, lots of color. Just fantastic to be driving along through here. It's so flat. It's one thing I noticed about the prairies in Western Canada. Then we saw this exhibition here, Dinosaurs of the Prairie. All these old combines all stood in a row, going up the hill. There's the van, and there's the dinosaurs of the prairies. They're going up the hill. Pretty interesting. Could see that from quite a distance, and I wondered what it was really. And then look at that one, kind of looks like a dinosaur chewing on something. Then we saw these birds, and off in the distance I went over to get some photographs of them. They're pretty amazing birds. Wow, this fella's taking off. Look at that. He didn't like me getting so close taking pictures. So away he's skippering off across the water. We're going to see some pelicans. Here's some pelicans here, and I know a place where there's lots of pelicans, lots of them, and we're going to be there in a day or two. I'll be photographing a lot more pelicans. There they are flying away. Here's a flock of Canada geese. Here's a couple of them on the shore. The ones here are pretty scared. The ones in Kitchener will attack you, but these run away all the time. It's a family of ducks going across the pond. Met a wonderful farmer here. He was telling me about his farm. He said he had 18 bulls, if I remember right, that they run with their herd. Nice to see the livestock and the water and the distance. I love this, the prairies, farmland, cattle drives, all that kind of thing. This is the way life used to be way, way back. Another old grain elevator in the distance here. I had to drive back a bit because I couldn't walk across the ditch. It was full of some pretty nasty looking water. But I wanted to get these colorful flowers all around the grain elevator. I managed it. Here we are in Fargo. I wanted to see Fargo, and I asked the fella at the gas station about bison, and he said, oh, they're all over downtown. I meant like flesh and blood bisons, but he was talking about the sculptures, I suppose. And they were definitely there. Beautiful park we had our lunch at here. It was just wonderful. People are super friendly here. We stopped at a post office to mail a letter off to my priest in Kitchener. Thanks for visiting Bella's Vistas. Please like and subscribe. Click the notification bell too. Thank you.